Who's had just about enough change? Change up to here. Let's see by a show of hands. Well, pretty much everybody. So I can see why they brought me in here to work with you. See, I love working with people that are tired of change, waiting for things to settle down. See, I can help you because I can tell you when the change is going to end. You know when it's going to end? When you're dead or when a meteorite crashes and hits the earth. See, the only thing I can really tell you is that change is the only constant. From here on in, all you're going to see is change, and probably faster rather than slower. So it's not even a matter of learning to like change. It's a matter of learning to love change. So how many of you out there like it? I can see about half the crowd. Okay, well, you're probably liars, but we'll get back to you. All right, who loves change? Who really gets into it? Well, a little bit less. The reason I say that I think you're not telling me the truth about change is that most of us set up our lives in routines where we do basically the same thing every day to avoid making changes, honestly. How many of you from the time you wake up in the morning and wipe drool off your face till you leave the house have a nice routine that you do exactly the same way, right? And then you get in your car and you drive exactly the same way to get to work because you figured out the best way to get to work. You even know which lanes to be in between which exits, right? And to make it even worse, anybody driving faster than you on the highway is a maniac. Anybody driving slow than you is an idiot because you're the official speed on the road, right? I mean, why doesn't traffic just call you in the morning and ask you how fast you're going to be driving that day so they can let everybody know not to drive in a different way? Now, I promise I'm going to make a lot more fun of the men than the ladies, but ladies, I got to pick on you first. Ladies, I love to watch it when you believe you've put your car keys in your purse. Because if you believe you put those in the purse, you open up the purse and you don't find those keys, that's not going to convince you that the keys are not in the purse because you know you put them in there, right? So what will you do? Well, the first thing you'll do is open and shut that purse 3 times, somehow believing that shutting the purse will release the compartments that have sucked up those keys. And if that doesn't work, that's still not going to convince you because you'll take the entire purse, you'll dump it out, you'll look through that, still not finding the keys, you'll put the stuff back in, and then you'll look away. Maybe the keys went for a walk, maybe they came back again. Folks, let me give you a little motto to remember when you find yourself in that situation. If your horse has died, get off, okay? It's not even change that matters nowadays, it's chaos that matters, because to some of us, the change is happening so fast, it seems chaotic. And I know many of you may not be aware of it, but there's a brand of science out there called chaos theory. That's right, chaos theory. And they have a special word that I want to share with you today called K-order. C-H-A, the first 3 letters of the word chaos, and then the word order. And here's what it means. It doesn't matter how fast the world is changing. It only matters how fast you are changing in relationship to it. So if the world is changing at whatever speed and you're going slower or you're making adjustments slower than the other people are, that change is going to seem pretty random, pretty chaotic to you. But if you're moving faster, if you can really adjust on the dime faster than other people can, then that change is going to seem orderly. You're going to be able to handle it. Well, here's what it comes down to, folks. If you want to love change and thrive during change, because that's what we've got to do, you've got to be able to do 3 things. First of all, you've got to be agile. You've got to be flexible. You can't skate to where the puck is. You got to skate to where the puck's going to be. So you've got to be able to switch on a dime, be able to reposition yourself whenever you need to. The second thing you need to do is to be able to see options. You see, the people that love change are the people that increase their options every time there's a change. You know why I like it? Because I can adjust faster than almost everybody in the room. I can look at a situation, and if something's not working, I can figure out what I need to do to be able to make that change. And the third thing, and here's really the secret, here's the thing that most of us don't do. If you want to get great at dealing with change, you got to practice making changes before you have to, so that when you have to, you know how. Let me give you a little analogy. On a dog sled, the lead dog sees no crack. And all I mean by that is that the lead dog sees the world exactly the way it is. They have all the opportunities. All the other dogs on that dog sled are looking at the dog in front of them and thinking about the dog in back of them and running just as fast as they can just to stay in there. So where do you want to be on the dog sled of life? Do you want to be the lead dog? Do you want to be the one that has the ability to go out and see changes? Or do you want to be waiting and cautious I mean, candidly, I have a PhD and 2 master's degrees. You know what? My PhD is 40 years old. I'd be a dinosaur if I wasn't staying current. My MBA is 30 years old. We were doing computer programming on punch cards at that point. So I could be extinct unless I kept up with what was going on every day. I mean, think about it. How many of you work for companies where they have a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan? I laugh at that. I hope they're written in pencil, because the only thing I can guarantee you is that your 5 or 10-year plan is not going to happen. Even your 1-year plan is suspect, because things are changing at such a dramatic pace that, what can I tell you? There's an old saying that says, man plans and God laughs. And what does that mean? Well, we think we've got these terrific plans out there, but the reality is that all we can do is to make adjustments as we occur. So to really help you deal with change, I have to change the way you think. Because if we can't change the way you think, then nothing else really matters. So I'm going to do a couple of little games with you to demonstrate how you have to change your thinking. So the first one is kind of fun. I want you all in the audience to take your right leg and start making a clockwise circle with your right leg. Got that going? Good. Now at the same time, I want you to draw the number 6. Pretty difficult, huh? You won't be able to do that. You can keep trying it all day, sir. It's not going to happen. Let's try it one more time. Let's try it one more time. All right, I want you to make that clockwise circle with your foot, but instead of drawing the 6 the way you normally would, I want you to draw it backwards. Woo, now you can do it, right? Sometimes that's what it takes to be able to cope with change. It takes the ability to be able to look at the same thing you've seen all along and find something different with it. Let me give you another quick example. I'm sure you've all seen this FedEx sign somewhere. FedEx boxes, FedEx trucks. And FedEx, when they made this logo, hid a symbol in the logo. There's one symbol that's hidden in here, and I want you to look at it, because if you don't know where it is, you're going to look for it in the logical place, which is too bad, because change is all about not really logic, but looking at things in other ways. So there's a symbol that they hid, and then there's another symbol that I found in looking at it. And most people can't see either one of them. All right, I'm going to give you a hint. The symbol that FedEx purposely hid is an arrow. And most of you that are not seeing that arrow are not seeing it because you're looking right at the letters. And if you look at the letters, you're never going to find that arrow. But if you're willing to look at the white space right above where my finger is, right between that last E and X, suddenly that arrow jumps right off the page. By the way, every time you see a FedEx truck from now on, all you're going to see is that arrow, and you're going to want to tell everybody that's with you about that arrow. The second symbol, by the way, is a spoon, and it's lying on its side. Again, if you look at the letters, you'll never see it, but if you look at this E and you take a look at the white space between it, all of a sudden you'll see that spoon lying on its side. So remember, I said to you earlier that change is about practice, making changes when you don't have to, so that when you do have to, you know how. So let me give you some things to try. Some of you are new in town here. You're going to go to a restaurant tonight. That's a good idea. Before the hostess can say anything to you, I want you to, well, when she says to you, did you have reservations? I want you to go, yes, but I came anyway. All right, if you don't get some of these, they're time released. That's okay, not a problem. Before the waitress can say anything to you, walk over to her and go, hello, my name is Tom. I'll be your customer today. All right, let me give you another one. Go into a supermarket, load up your shopping cart with everything you can possibly find. Go stand on a checkout line in the back of somebody with one item and ask if you can get in front of them. Tell them you're in a rush. That'll get them. All right, here's another one. Here's another. Go into a photo studio and offer to buy pictures of the other people. Tell them my family's ugly. I don't want a picture of my kid. I'll take the kid and the dog on that one up there. All right? If you're visiting me in San Diego and you want to go to SeaWorld, I've got a terrific thing for you. Just bring a fishing pole with you and say, where's Shamu at? All right, I'll give you one more, one last one. You're going to be leaving here. You're going to pass through those TSA detectors. You know what TSA stands for, of course. Thousands standing around. Well, I want to tell you what happened to me right after 9/11. And it was at that time they had, the armed National Guardsmen with their weapons at the airport. And so I've got stuff in my bag, and they passed my bag through the conveyor belt, and the guy stops me, calls the armed National Guardsman over, who points his weapon at me. I'm not making any of this up. And he starts taking stuff out of my bathroom bag and laying it on the conveyor belt. And he starts laying out nail clippers, and he starts screaming at me, You have 4 sets of nail clippers in your bag. What were you planning to do with these? And I quickly rattled back, manicure everybody on the flight. Now, you probably wouldn't do that, but I would. And after I got out of prison, it really wasn't so bad. So let me tell you a few more things about change.